Number 10. The Aquasphere, Frankston, Australia. Shut down in 2016, the Aquasphere at the Peninsula Aquatic Recreation Center was an enclosed raft ride filled with high-speed twists and turns.
Go!
Riders were fired into a 5-meter or 16-foot sphere. It felt like they were endlessly making a massive 90-degree turn. I think I'm gonna be sick. Adult riders had bashed their heads on the tunnel walls and even experienced back pain from all the jostling movement. One of the more horrific injuries happened when a 7-year-old boy fell out of the raft mid-slide. He was knocked unconscious from battering around the inside of the tube. A witness said they had seen the boy lying lifeless on the ground. Despite their simple nature, water slides are even more dangerous than roller coasters or rickety carnival staples. There are tons of infamous water rides with quite the rap sheets. What kinds of injuries are most common? And do these death traps stay open? This is Your Body On, the 10 most dangerous water slides.
Looks dry and dangerous.
Number 9. Shoot the Rapids Ride, Ohio, US. This perilous water wonder at Cedar Point Amusement Park may look fun, but it was a nightmare for some. Passengers on this ride were belted into a boat, almost sealing their fates when it malfunctioned in 2013. The boat rolled backward down its first hill, flipping these 7 passengers into the water. Had fellow parkgoers not jumped to the rescue, they could have been trapped underwater and drowned. 2 major safety features had malfunctioned. The first was the mechanism that kept the boat from sliding backward, and the other was the feature that keeps the boat on its tracks. In 2016, the ride was finally shut down. Looks like most people were happy to see it go. Number 8. Insano, Brazil Beach Park, Brazil. With a name like that, you'd wonder why anyone would even think of jumping on this wet nightmare. At the time of construction in 1989, Insano was featured in the Guinness Book of World Records as the tallest water slide in the world, at 41 meters or 135 feet. That's as tall as a 14-story building. Even thinking of being up that high has my knees shaking.
Come on, go ahead.
It gives you a nice view of the ocean, though, if you're into that sort of thing. You plummet down the slide at speeds reaching 105 kilometers per hour or 65 miles per hour. It's so steep, you're basically free-falling. Unlike some of the other rides in this list, Insano is still open today. So if you're crazy enough to take the plunge, be our guest. Number 7. Aqualoop, Gold Coast, Australia.
3, 2, 1.
At the aptly named Wet n Wild water park, the Aqualoop will literally throw you for a loop. It all starts by dropping you through a trap door where you fall into 3 transparent slides where you'll hit speeds of 60 kilometers per hour or 37 miles per hour. In 2012, 30-year-old Cherie Schramm sued the water park after she got stuck inside one of the loops. Before another rider slammed into her, she managed to escape through a hatch in the slide. She didn't get out unharmed, though. She partially tore her left rotator cuff while trying to open the hatch. The ensuing lawsuit claimed she was not warned about possibly getting stuck and how to exit the ride safely. Number 6. The Steamer, Calypso Water Park, Ottawa, Canada. In 2015, Calypso Water Park was accused of not reporting a series of incidents on their notorious water slide, the Steamer. The ride was poorly supervised. One park official felt like having lifeguards at the top and bottom of the ride was overkill.
Is it safe? Very safe. So safe you wouldn't believe it.
Right. Thanks to their negligence, riders experienced spinal injuries and broken collarbones. The Steamer had 20 violation charges, but the park wouldn't take responsibility and actually tried to blame the safety inspectors for not telling them it was dangerous.
I need someone to take the fall.
Number 5. The Scorpion's Tail, Noah's Ark Water Park, Wisconsin, US. At Noah's Ark Water Park, one animal-themed ride lives up to its deadly name. The Scorpion's Tail slide is like being locked in a coffin. This ride feels like death before it even begins. At 10 stories high, it features an almost vertical loop, sending you circling around the tube at 3 Gs. You're also sprayed with water at multiple points to create a far slicker and faster experience than your average water slide. Luckily for you, optical sensors can tell when a rider leaves the slide, so you can count on not getting hit from behind. Number 4. The Vertigo Slide, Benidorm, Spain. Another trapdoor ride, the Vertigo Slide at Aqualandia Park was even faster than the Aqualoop, reaching 96.5 kilometers per hour or 60 miles per hour. It's quite the thrill. Just ask Jamie Norman, who rocketed down the slide 3 times on his visit in 2014. But on his 3rd attempt, the trapdoor failed to open all the way, scraping Norman's limbs and smacking his face on the way down. When he reached the bottom, he was battered and bleeding. Park Services didn't think he needed to go to the hospital and reopened the ride no less than 10 minutes later. I'm no expert, but I think it would take longer to clean a blood-filled pool. Number 3. Verruckt, Kansas City, US. Verruckt is German for insane, and the ride definitely lives up to its namesake. At the infamous Schlitterbahn water park, this 51.5 meter or 169 foot tall slide was an accident waiting to happen. With people reaching speeds of up to 113 kilometers per hour or 70 miles per hour, it was designed to challenge the laws of physics. Owners fast-tracked the construction of Verruckt with no safety measures in place, so they could appear on a TV show about amusement parks and snatch the Guinness World Record. Tragically, in 2016, 10-year-old Caleb Schwab went airborne and hit a metal pole supporting a safety net. He was decapitated and instantly died. The park shut down the Verruckt and dismantled it in 2018.
Are you gonna go on that water slide?
No.
Number 2. Leap of Faith, Atlantis Water Park, Bahamas. This 18-meter, 59-foot tall slide drops you through an underground tunnel submerged in a marine life-filled lagoon. But one of the sharks from a nearby tank jumped her 30-centimeter, 12-inch high barrier and landed in the chlorine pool. Despite the staff's efforts, she died from the chlorinated water.
Frankie, no.
There's now a safety net between the tank and pool, just in case. Number 1. The Cannon-Cajones Loop, Action Park, New Jersey, US.
There's nothing in the world like Action Park.
Action Park earned itself nicknames like Traction Park and Class Action Park for good reason. The park's most notorious ride was known for knocking out a few teeth in its day.
That hurt.
The 18-meter or 59-foot enclosed slide had so many twists and turns, it was like a massive crazy straw. Park owner and self-professed Walt Disney of New Jersey, Gene Mulvihill, designed the Cannonball Loop on a cocktail napkin. Super official. And took a trial and error approach to the build. Gene offered his employees $100 to test out the death trap. The ride opened in 1985, but the New Jersey Carnival Amusement Ride Safety Board shut it down after just 1 month. Action Park was closed in 1996, following the 6 deaths to have occurred there since its opening in 1973. These slides all seem pretty dangerous. Maybe you'd be better off trying out a virtual ride. You'll see how long you can last in the metaverse in another episode of Your Body On.